It's casual, not formal. It's hosted by Rory, Penland, with Jonathan and Renée in tow. It's time to start the show. 1, 2, 3, go!
Well, hello there. Welcome to another edition of It's Casual.
Woo!
Beside me is the lovely Renée Yaworsky.
Yes, and I'm wearing the I Choose, this avatar is wearing the I Choose Awesome hat, okay? And I want
Yes.
everyone, I always tell people, contact Tom Cheshire if you want anything I Choose Awesome. It's something that in the community, we all say that phrase. A lot of people ask me about it. The way to get any of that merchandise, he also has bracelets and all kinds of stuff, is
T-shirts?
to contact him.
Coffee
Yes.
mugs?
What'd you say?
Coffee mugs?
Coffee mugs. I don't know that they have. You know what? I wish they would. I don't think they do actually, but that's a really good.
I would use one on this show. That would be my coffee mug for this show.
that would
because
be
I have
so
a coffee mug for
cool.
another show.
That would be
You know it.
so cool. Oh man.
That I put
Well,
my mango peach tea in. So you see, I have to drink it from a bottle here. Looks like I urinated in a bottle.
you were. I do want to say that on you have another show. We have another show called Howitzer, right? General Howitzer.
General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room.
And on that, there was one episode where the general was sipping tea, and I think it was peach tea. And all I know is that the audience now, every time we go live, they mention the noises that the general was making.
When he slurps peach tea?
Yes, there were some noises, and ever since then, people are asking about those noises. And I know you don't have anything to do with that, Rory, you not being General Howitzer, but you are a fan of the show.
Speaking of noises,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if everybody caught the all-female edition of No Icing with Drita.
Oh my gosh.
There was like 9 people on there, including Chris Duell in drag, which was pretty amazing.
You mean Chrissy.
And-
Now you do mean Chrissy. That wasn't Christopher
Chrissy.
Duell.
Okay,
That was
Chrissy.
Chrissy. That
Sorry.
was Chrissy. He had a lisp kind of. He had very beautiful.
I have been
golden
trying
locks.
to get him on this show for so long.
Oh gosh, I mean, he said he's a major star. He's amazing.
Anyway, the girls went crazy that he was there,
They
and
did.
they were talking about getting buttons. Each of them getting different buttons to play during the show, because Drita has a button that's kind of like an air horn.
That sounded identical. You are an impressionist, and we are going to lead into your ability.
I do sounds.
You can
Pat
literally
Duax will
mimic
tell you. He's been on the
any
road with me.
sound.
But anyway, Ruby Ray Moore, who was on that show, said she wanted a fart box that does a fart noise. So I was like, oh my God, that is so hysterical. That is so funny that she picked that of everything. So I went on Amazon right away and I ordered her one, which she's been using now when she goes and does live.
Are you serious? That is.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And it was so funny that I got one for myself.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Pat Duax is rolling in the green room now because he does very sophisticated comedy, and this is just ridiculously in poor taste.
But slapstick has its place. I mean, it is funny. It's funny. What can I say?
Oh, that one had a little delay. Let me shift for this one. Oh! God, that was a wet one.
Didn't you go live on SDF or something and do this?
So 9 trouser trumpets, it says on the package.
Oh my gosh.
9
Oh
trouser
my
trumpets.
This is so funny. Somebody in the audience, wait, I got to show you. Somebody in the audience just said, just what the doctor ordered, Rory and a fart box, LMAO.
And I'm drinking peach tea, which looks like my own urine. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all this week.
Quality entertainment, people. Quality entertainment. We've given the people what they want. This is so great. This is just great. Oh man.
So again, just trying to bring the laughter, folks. Just trying to have a little fun, folks, as Dean Martin used to say.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And we have a video. We also have a video, but before we get to the video, I do want to do a little promo. We're talking about your ability to do impressions and, you know, all the voices that you do. I don't know if anyone knows about this, but I mean, anyone who's new, who hasn't seen it, they might not know that you're actually going up to set a world record, correct? With Guinness Book of World Records. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. And I did a thing. Excuse me. This all started with me trying to make a list of the impressions that I can do. And, you know, the first sitting, excuse me, the first sitting. Oh yeah. And that's it. That'll destroy what, you know, what I got coming up in August. Don't do that. And I had like 525 voices. So I said, wow, you know, let me keep seeing if I can get more voices on the list, you know, maybe some newer stuff. And because I do a lot of the, you know, old timey voices and stuff, you know, from back when I was a kid, and from reruns and everything. And I got it up to 600 voices. So I did a 600 voice challenge here on Facebook. And everybody said, well, this should be a world's record. And you should call Guinness, you know, and see if you can get, you know, registered with Guinness. So I checked into that. And I got registered with Guinness. I did the old cheap route, which was you pay $5 to register, and then you've got to wait up to 12 weeks. It could be even more than 12 weeks for them to get back to you and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna allow this. So I registered. Now, if you can get sponsorship from somebody like a club or something, or an organization or a company that'll pay $1,000 to Guinness, this is how they get you. Then they'll process it in like 5 days, you know, and you can do whatever it is you want. But I said, no, that's fine. I'll just pay the $5 and I'll set the date for August 20th. It's going to be August 20th at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time here on Facebook. And we're going to put it on Cosmos TV on YouTube. And I think it'll be on Twitch, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes, definitely.
I'm going to do, are you ready? Drum roll, please. 801 voices.
Or more, actually, or more. We don't know. It could go up
because I have my own personal characters' voices too that I can put. If I can make those 800 voices in an hour, and I think I can, I might be able to do 820 voices or 850 voices. I don't know. I'll have as many ready as I can put together.
Right. And I mean, honestly, you could just, it's unlimited to a certain extent, because if someone just said a character, I mean, people always sling characters at you like, hey, do JJ from Good Times, or, you know, you can just, I mean, it's endless, really. The characters.
Dynamite!
Yeah, there you go. We just added one right there. We just added
That's
one.
807 voices now.
Yes, exactly. So this
again,
is.
I've got lots of time to work on it between now and then, and I have not practiced it yet, so I know I can do it in an hour. But I think 600 voices in about 38 minutes, so I think I can do it.
Okay, well, I know you can do it. I mean, this is your wheelhouse. This is what you're known for, and now because you're working,
and the record will be, and I'm setting the record now.
You're setting the record.
Is the most voices you can do in 1 hour. Yeah.
Right. So that's the question. Like when I'm promoting this, people ask me all the time, what's the current record? So answer that question so that I don't have to keep answering it. What's the current record?
So there it is.
What's the current record though, Rory?
1 minute. And
they
did 32 voices. Is the highest vocal impersonation in 1 minute. But nobody's ever tried to do hundreds of voices, you know, in a longer time frame that I know of.
So you're
I checked with the Guinness. I checked. They have a section where you can check to see if the record's already been done, and I checked that, and there was no record for doing voices in an hour.
Wow! Somebody's asking for Droopy Dog. Can you do Droopy Dog?
Droopy Dog sounds a little bit like Truman Capote. If you, I just hated your last book.
That's it. That's definitely it.
I'm
That's
so
it.
happy right now. And then you take it up
Yeah,
a little
there
bit.
you
And you take it up a little bit, and it's Truman Capote.
Oh my gosh.
So there is a guy that
Truman
I saw on
Capote.
YouTube
That's
this
a
week.
great one.
He might beat
Oh,
my
that's great.
record. I mean, this guy was really good. He did like 7 minutes of impressions, and it was really, really good. Because he said, if you take it up here, then it becomes blah, blah, blah. You take it over here, it becomes... I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. I should have written it down. And it's not the new guy on Saturday Night Live who is also very good at impressions. But this kid, you know, and again, I shouldn't say kid because it was like 8 years ago when he did it. So he's probably, he's probably in his 30s now. But yeah, he might give me a run for my money after I've set this record. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm really excited. I mean, this is major. This is going to change your life. This is going to change everyone's life, you know, because everybody's
I'm
aware of
get me
your
back out in the
talent.
clubs again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really...
when I do this,
Right.
I will be the man of 1,000 voices. Because let's face it, Lon Chaney had like 50 faces, like 50 movies. And he called himself the man of 1,000 faces. If I got 800 plus voices, I think I could say I'm the man of 1,000 voices.
Oh yeah, I mean that's actually how I bill you now. So
that.
I basically bill you as that now. I say Rory, the man of 1,000 voices, Penland, because it's not 801. I know.
Not a drink to that.
Yeah. So somebody, Amity Grant said, you got Yogi, Boo Boo, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Foghorn, Leghorn, Sylvester.
Yeah. I specialize in cartoons.
And
that will
Pee-wee.
tell you. I used to call myself the human cartoon until Drew Carey stole that byline.
Oh boy.
And then I became the cartoon comic after that.
Yeah.
But I have pictures of a cassette tape that I used to sell at my show that says Rory Penland, the human cartoon.
That is great. I love that. Well, you know, we have an awesome guest waiting to come on, so we want to get to him, but we do have a quick video. Do you want me to play a video from one of our? Okay,
one of our regulars.
One of our regulars. I think you're gonna recognize him right away. Here you go. Let's see.
Hi, it's me, Roland Pruitt, and I just want to say there's a lot of stressful things going on right now in the world, and whenever I get stressed out,
Roland.
you know, I kind of hum the
I
Mothra
love him.
song to myself. You know, I got my Mothra shirt on.
He's humming the Mothra song.
It helps him get through tough times.
Got an itch there.
Come on, Roland, do another take.
You're being so hard on him. It's great. It's inspiring.
He's got a lovely humming voice.
It just immediately takes all the stress away from you, and you can do that. You know, when you're getting like really, stressed out. Just saying. Have a great show, guys.
Thank you, Roland.
He wants to come on the show so bad.
I know. When are you gonna host him? You gotta interview him.
Maybe someday.
Okay. All right. I don't know how.
I don't know if I told you, but John Biner's wife, the actress Annie Gabus, is coming on the show in a couple weeks.
Yes.
And she's very excited about it. She's sent me a lot of emails this week. Sent me a lot of pictures and stuff already. She's very excited about coming on the show, and I'm really excited about interviewing her because she's had quite a. If you go to IMDb and look at her page, she's done quite a few TV shows and movies.
Wow.
And she's done a lot of stage work too. So,
yeah, I mean, she's going to be a totally unique guest, and I mean, we love John Biner, right? So it's going to be great. Going to be awesome.
But I promised her we're going to make this about her. This is going to be her interview.
Yeah, you're not going to mention the guy
to death, and she'll talk about him all day long. But this
that's
is her
right.
Time, or that will be her.
Thank you. That's really brilliant. Yeah, because she's actually an artist in her own right. She has her own legacy and her own history. So there you go. Excellent. Congratulations. That's an excellent guest. I'm excited for that one. That's one of the shows one of the most.
I was going to do that with Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
Scott Eastwood, we weren't going to make it about him being, Clint Eastwood's son.
Right.
You did a couple of my movies and all, and, you're a pretty good actor and everything, but.
Is he going to be at the Guinness?
We were going to make it all about Scott, and then he ditched us. He stood us up.
Well, I imagine he has other things going on, I guess. But an hour spent with us is never an hour
Not even
wasted.
an
So I hope he comes
apology. I'm
back.
sorry I didn't make the show.
Yeah, well, maybe in the future, the door's open. There you go.
We'll
Come
see.
on back, Scott. Come on back.
Scott, what the hell are you doing dishing out on shows? You need
Listen
to get
to
on
your
that boy's
father.
show, or at least apologize to him.
Listen to your father. Remember your manners. Oh, jeez. No, he's a wonderful, lovely man, and he's going to come on again. I know it. The door's open,
I hope
Scott.
so. I hope so.
All right.
Would
Well,
be
let's
nice to
talk
get
about who is
him
here.
back
Let's
on.
talk about who is here. We do have somebody here
Yes.
for the audience. Let's do a little introduction on him.
He is a stand-up comic who's been out there, oh my gosh, for so long. He's been on a lot of comedy stages in the Southeast. I'm going to ask him about where else he's been, other than the usual clubs that we had Ken Evans on the show recently. We had Scott Hardy. We had Tom Ryan. These guys all started out in Florida and worked the Southeast circuit, and then went off to other places. And Pat. I call him Pat. His Facebook is Patrick Duax, but he's always been Pat Duax to me. It just rolls off the tongue better for me. I've always called him Pat Duax. So let's go ahead and bring him on up so we can talk about where he's been lately and what he's been up to.
Pat Duax is great, Rory.
There it is. And you look great.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for agreeing to come on the show. Again, we've had such a good time with the guys that I started out with here in Florida. When did you start doing comedy?
78 in Chicago. I didn't get to Florida till like 1990.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a long trip.
I started on the Comedy Corner in '88 in Tampa, and I don't remember if you came there or not. I know I worked with you a lot after I left the Comedy Corner.
Like
I think I may have worked with you one time, maybe, at the Comedy Corner before I left.
Yeah, I believe so.
So
here in in 1990, like I was saying, and
again, you
was one of my first stops.
You worked the bonkers circuits and
yeah. Coconut.
Was another big one down there. Or here, I should say. I'm in Central Florida.
Okay.
And again, I used to see your picture everywhere where I go. And again, every now and again, we would cross paths and we get to do a show together here or there. And that was always nice. And you showed one of the, we were showing headshots recently, old headshots. And you had the great headshot of you in the like museum with the dinosaur behind you.
That's the.
And I wish I had it here now to show, but I forgot to send it to Renee.
That would have been better, yeah. But that was the Field Museum in Chicago, and I actually got arrested for that picture because I also had a flintlock rifle with me, and being the idiot that I was, I didn't realize security would be a little upset somebody pulling out a rifle in the middle of a museum.
So you had it tucked away somewhere,
during winter,
and you pulled it out for the shot.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they're pushing red buttons. Security!
Exactly.
Go to the Dino Plaza.
Actually, what happened? They had thought, because it was a flintlock rifle, that I had stolen it from the Frontier Museum.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Even worse. Yeah.
Then they saw "Made in China" on the bottom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was quite a day.
Oh, he picked us up at Pirates of the Caribbean. Damn it.
Yep, that's pretty much what it was. Plastic rifle I got when I was like 12 years old.
So they actually took you to like the station?
No, it's like Chicago, so there's always a back room somewhere.
Okay, all right. They took you for the body cavity search.
Yeah, they said, and they realized that I guess pretty soon that I wasn't a threat, but they let me go, and said knock off and don't do that anymore. But the thing is, the actual statue.
But the shot is impressive. It really is.
I wish I said because
I hope that everybody goes to Patrick Duax's Facebook page. It's just a couple of days ago you posted it. And go to see that black and white headshot that he had. It's very impressive. He has a dinosaur behind him, dinosaur bones behind him, and he's got a hunter's outfit on. And I didn't realize it was a flintlock rifle.
The story goes that
so they took you to the back room.
That was the first. Yeah, well, no. Let me tell you about the actual dinosaur I was posing in front of. It was at the Field Museum in Chicago, and it's supposedly the first Tyrannosaurus Rex ever assembled. And every childhood kid growing up went to that on their field trip. If you grew up in Chicago, but like a lot of things, especially Chicago, it's always a scam. It really wasn't. They had assembled these bones from all these different archaeological sites, so this is just a conglomeration of the bones that they put up there. And which was, nobody knew this for like 30 years, and then it came out. But so that's the thing. I just thought it was the perfect example for, growing up in Chicago, where there's always some kind of scam, and somebody's trying to always. There's a saying in Chicago that if somebody opens up the trunk of their car, they're either going to sell you something out of it or put you in it. It's one of those two things.
They're either hawking records out the back, or they're, it's Goodfellas.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, you were funny in the trunk.
That's it. Perfect analogy. That's it. But yeah, that's where I
don't mind the records.
Yeah, that's where I started out. And back in those, you work 6 nights a week at different clubs, and then Monday, the one night everybody was closed Monday, that you had a writer session. So you got to use your comedy skills and hone them, and meet so many other comics and learn your writing skills really, really quickly. So, if you weren't doing well after 6 months to a year, you really were not funny. Because there was
probably not going to make it. So which clubs did you start out with in Chicago?
But there was
Zanies.
Also, small Zanies ran from Tuesday through Sunday, with 2 shows on Friday night, 3 shows on Saturday night, and there's a lot of similar clubs to that. But another one was the Comedy Womb, which where you started out and everybody got 5 minutes. But these were all showcase clubs that you got to meet everybody and kind of felt your way around comedy.
Right.
Yeah. And there's also a place called the Comedy Cottage. And the great thing about it, all these clubs were within like maybe 20, 30 minutes of each other, not more than an hour. So you could actually work 5 or 6 clubs in a night.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a real different way than it is now.
So who was starting out around the same time that you got to work with that went on to, be hugely famous?
That's probably one of my favorites was Emo Phillips and Judy Tenuta were the big ones, and then there's the comedy duo of Steve and Leo, who went out to Hollywood and wrote the Santa Claus, the movie for Tim Allen, and Larry Reeb. I could just go down.
Uncle Larry.
A lot of people. You probably wouldn't recognize, but we're just standard bearers of the Chicago comedy scene.
Yeah. And I just added emo to my 800 voices.
Very good.
He actually talks like that off stage.
Yeah,
that was a surprise. I thought that was just a character.
The character,
but he really talks like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things about emo that has kept his mystique going. Is you don't know where the character ends and emo starts, or back and forth.
And Judy, we got to work with Judy at the Comedy Corner several times. Yeah. Oh, she's a sweetheart. Again, trying to get her on the show, not easy. But we talked to Phil Perrier. He got an interview with her for his Road Trips documentary.
I saw that. Yeah. And he had. I know he's been. I saw a couple of the ads with Tim Olson that he's.
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary?
I have.
Oh yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, and we talked about it at length. on the show because again, it's an amazing piece of work for anybody who was a road comic or has ever been a road comic or wants to be a road comic. Yeah, I thoroughly endorse that. You should see that.
Yeah,
because
okay.
that's the way it really is.
Yeah, and Phil was one of the first guys I ever met when I came down to Florida, and he was absolutely terrific, funny, and actually I knew Phil Perrier when he was Jack Daniels.
What?
Was I joked that bad, or did the sound go out?
It stuttered a little bit. You had a little stutter there. Right on the name. Damn it.
Yeah, right on the punchline, of course.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, well.
It says on your. I went to your Facebook page to get some inspiration to get my muse kicked in about questions to ask you, and one of the things that stood out is in your bio it says that you were educated in Catholic school.
True. Yes, 12 years.
Do you have any interesting stories about that?
Well,
a lot of people use that for material, And I wasn't sure if you had or not, so I thought I'd ask.
I will, I will tell you that my religious experience that I through Catholic school, I actually just recently now became, not in the Catholic Church, but I became a minister.
Wow.
Yeah, my nephew asked if I would perform the ceremony for his wedding, so I sent off on the internet, paid my $60, and got my look. And the big.
You're an internet minister.
I mean, it's the Universal Life Church, and the big celebrity who is also a Universal Life Church is Willie Nelson. So. Me and Willie.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, Willie Nelson. Oh, do you Willie Nelson? Can that be 802?
Do you? Do you? You may talk the bride. No.
That's a perfect Willie.
Well, that was just me. And again, you'll find out that those 800 voices, like 200 of them are just me trying, But or as my friend Mike, I know you probably know Mike Wilson.
Sure.
He says, "Yeah, I do 800 voices, but most of them sound like Jack Nicholson." Your Facebook page has a lot of good lines. This is another reason to go to see Pat Duax's Facebook page. I'm saying Patrick because that's what it is on Facebook. Because you got a lot of good lines on your page. You're continue to write, which is fantastic. And Murray Langston, the Unknown Comic, does that too. It's just always new lines on his page. I love going there and seeing what he's come up with this week.
It really is therapy, Rory. If I don't get that, it just kind of festers in there.
Yeah, gotta keep it rolling out. You're a very prolific writer. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm a little miffed, okay, because I asked you for pictures for performance for ads for this show, and I got the hippo shot. You've got a lot of good pictures. I went to your page today, and you got all these great pictures of yourself, and I got the hippo pic, which I had to crop the hippo out.
Oh.
He couldn't fit on the poster. I didn't know Rooney was not going to be here tonight. Otherwise, I'd have put the whole hippo pic in.
Yeah.
And people can go to your page and see that too, along with the dinosaur shot.
That hip. Well,
interesting pic. So I'm not angry with you. I'm just angry at myself because I didn't go to your page ahead of time, beforehand, and see. Oh, he's holding out on me. There's a lot of great pictures here. What the hell? You're doing cruise ships now.
Well, the Victory Casino cruise. I've done cruise ships in the past, yes, but currently I'm just working with the Victory casinos down in Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a little trouble going with the audio. Is the audio
Okay.
still going good?
Uh-oh. Can you hear me
Gotcha.
now?
Gotcha.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are gambling cruises, so they go out like 20 miles.
Yeah, about 5.
And or I should say casino cruises. And they go on 20 miles, and they let people gamble. They usually got a nice little buffet on board, and then they come back. So you can like do two of them in a day.
They do 2 of them in a day.
You do it. They do the day cruise usually 11 o'clock in the morning, right? And then they do the night cruise usually 7 o'clock at night, and they come back around 11, 12 o'clock, right? Yeah, there you go.
Get all these people out there. They're always saying, I got to get my money back.
Well, we have a lovely sandwich buffet over here.
Yeah.
I know. I've been there. I was doing Sterling Casino cruises out of Canaveral.
And the comedian's going to be so funny, you're going to forget about that
For a little while.
$10,000 you.
There you go. Well, 1 or 2,000, you know. 10,000. And you actually said a couple of days ago you're going to offer some free tickets to go on the cruise ship, will you?
True.
Or go on the cruise ship. You might not be there, but you might be. Very, very possible. So how do you propose to do that, sir?
I set it up. So all they have to do is, can you display a number, or should I just say the number? Is it? I'll give you a number to call.
You can say the number.
Right. The number is 321-210-9616.
Okay.
And you just say Pat Promo, and leave your phone number and the day that you want to go out. And for the next 48 hours, this will be good. They'll call you back and they'll give you a couple of free tickets.
So this is not like just giving out 2 tickets to a cruise. You're actually allowing anybody who's watching right now to get free tickets for a Florida cruise that'll take them out so they can gamble and have some fun and watch a show. Oh my God, Pat, thank you so much.
What the really
That's
great
awesome.
thing, I highly recommend this. Combine it with a launch. They launch these rockets out there. It's one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen, Rory. You're out there, and it's like you're in the middle of the 4th of July.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, man.
And it's Pat Promo is what they should say.
Pat Promo, and
Pat Promo.
Pat Promo.
And one of my viewers has put the number there, 321-210-9616.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's the number.
Wow. And you can go out on a cruise ship with shows and gambling and lots of fun. Sandwich buffet.
Buffet meals and stuff. You got to pay for drinks, but
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. That's probably the nicest thing a guest has ever done on my show.
You're welcome, Rory.
Thank you so much. Oh, I just lost you for a second. What was a moment? Have you ever had a moment when you're on stage and a great bit or line just comes to you from the heavens?
Yes, certainly.
Tell us about it.
The great thing about those kind of lines, you can't remember them when somebody asks you about them. But
but it's happened more than once. It's like when you have a great dream and you want to tell somebody about it, and then it's just not there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Some of them came spontaneity. You know what? I'm drawing an absolute blank, Rory. Thanks.
Well, some of the people that we mentioned before, who are some of your favorites to work with?
Oh, some of the favorite people I've worked with. Yes. Let me think here. There's a lot of guys. Larry Reed, a Chicago comic. I just love Uncle Lair. I've worked with him for years and years. And And yeah, I got some great stories about him. I remember when I came back from Florida, or I came back to Chicago from Florida. I hadn't known that the Chicago comedians had gone on strike. So I get to the club, and the MC there was a Dobie Maxwell. I think you probably know Dobie, and he was the MC, and I was the feature act. And
I've heard of him.
Larry Reeb was the headliner, and so Dobie's getting ready to go on stage, and the club manager Bert Haas, he comes up to me and asks me to run the soundboard. While Dobie's getting out there and get the sound levels, and Larry Reeb is standing there. And Larry Reeb says to Bert, he says, Bert, you're a hell of a guy. You cut the features pay, but then you teach them a trade.
They used to do that at the Crackers in Tampa as well. They used to get some of the guys to run the soundboard.
Okay.
They used to run the tech booth. Like, oh my gosh. And when I started as the MC at the Comedy Corner, they had me taking tickets at the front door. They had me seating people. I was supposed to be security in the room as well. But again, I had, and I worked up my routine while I was there. So I can't complain. I got stage time. I got to work up my act.
Yeah, the MC job is where
so what are some of the most exotic locations you've gone to because of?
Probably the most exotic one is Jamaica. For 5 years, I was the comedian for the Miss Black Nude pageant.
How'd you score that gig?
All right. My agent, who pimps it, was the son-in-law of the strip club owner in Washington, D.C., and they would bring the girls down from Washington, D.C. to Jamaica, and they'd elect the Miss Black Nude pageant. And HBO is the most popular show on HBO in the late 90s.
Okay. So, and did you get a better credit than that on television? As far as I mean, what's on your resume, your comedy resume, where you go, that was the one right there.
My mother is so proud, Rory.
I remember I was an extra in the Keys for License to Kill, and Happy Cole. I don't know if you remember Happy Cole. He said that would be the only credit on my resume. He said that is so cool. I was like, I was an extra. I didn't have any lines. I was just there. I was a bump on a log. He was like, no, but that's cool. That's a cool credit. That's what I would have right there.
I remember Happy Cole. He used to scare me. He used to roll his eyes in the back of his head. That just used to freak me out.
He played the lawyer on the Jerry Seinfeld show, didn't he?
Happy?
I think.
No, that wasn't Happy Cole.
He was the lawyer.
No, I don't think
that wasn't Happy Cole. I thought that was him. I'm sorry. My bad. I don't know how I got into my head that was him. But...
if ever I saw him roll his eyes, I'd agree with you.
And thank you so much, MM, for posting that number again. For anybody who wants to take a cruise out of Florida, out of Cape Canaveral, it's like a 6-hour gambling, a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. Pack some trunks of clothes like the Howells did. You never know.
Yeah. Just say pet promo and leave a message or what day you want to go, and they'll call you back.
That's it. It's a nice little trip. It really is. They just take you out. Yeah, and again, you can do a little gambling, watch a few shows, going out and back. It's a nice experience, and again, it's free. It's on Pat Duax.
But do a little research and find when they're shooting up a rocket, man. I'm telling you, you'll be amazed.
And you got to go when they're shooting up those rockets. Take it on a special night. Traveling around as you have as a performer, where was the strangest place you ever had to perform in?
The strangest place. Well, I remember Paducah, Kentucky was set up like a boxing ring, and the microphone actually came down from the ceiling. So in this corner,
somebody in their infinite wisdom.
Jokes.
Oh, this is comedy.
Yeah. Oh, and it was like 3 tiers, so they were all around, throwing stuff at you. And, I'm never going back to Paducah.
And when they brought you up, they would tell the audience your weight and your weight class.
That's right.
Well, he's a heavyweight of comedy. I remember a bowling alley. I can't remember where it was. I'm pretty sure it was a shoemaker gig. It was a bowling alley. Might have been Mark and Holland and Harris.
Oh my God, Mark! Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it was a bowling alley, and yeah, I mean, like I'm sitting there doing Bugs Bunny. What's up, Doc? And I had to time my act so that between strikes.
Right. Well, Mark
craziness.
teamed me up with Carrot Top because I had a station wagon.
That's it. you had room for the trunk. So yeah, he's been out in Vegas for quite a while. Him and who was the guy that was always with him?
Rob
Fioracola.
Sure.
Charlie Fioracola.
Yeah. Charlie did a lot of writing for Scott. Yeah, but now he's with.
But like Ward Smith said. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
I said.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Charlie did a lot of writing for Scott, but now he's with this guy Rob Sherwood, who does the same, pretty much the same thing. Got it.
Yeah, like Ward Smith said, sometimes you go to a place and they kick the cable out of the wall for the jukebox and say, "Go ahead, be funny."
Yeah. Let's turn off the world.
That's the way it is sometimes.
Let's turn off the World Series for the comedian.
Oh, yeah, sports bars. Playing in sports bars. That's like our kryptonite. Score. And we're like, is that for me? No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They're not listening. Having trouble connecting. Unstable internet connection.
Bit.
Move closer to your room downstairs. Okay. This is the first. I think I've never walked from upstairs to downstairs in my house on my show. So.
I thought you lived in Florida. You got 2 levels?
Yes.
How'd you manage?
I live in a little 2-bedroom townhouse.
Wow.
Can you still see me?
Years.
So, there's the cat. He's gonna make me kill myself going down the stairs, as cats do. So I'm getting closer to my router box. My Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
Sometimes I do my shows from down here. There's a blue light on the box, so we're good.
All right.
Okay. So hopefully we'll have better signal from here. And that's my cat tearing up the sofa. If you can hear that. So now I'm my thoughts are scattered.
That's okay.
And I have to hand hold my camera now. Let me see if I can get my tripod here because I don't want to stop the interview. I want to keep going.
All right, gotcha.
Just trying to have a little fun, folks. There we go. I got my tripod hooked up. Okay, so now you're better lit than I am.
I'm getting there.
And I left my peach tea upstairs. there you go. And sometimes when we're on the road, we have to stay in places that are questionable.
Yeah. Great fun.
Any dungeons? Any dungeons or horrible places that you've had to stay?
I toured a lot with my wife, and we were in some flea bag hotel, and I came back, and my wife was in a panic. The guy next door, I heard him say it. I said, "What?" He said, "I did it. I killed him."
Oh.
It's the comedian next door. It wasn't like, he's talking about he killed the audience, and besides that, he's lying because
was that Frankie Bastille? Oh, it wasn't Frankie Bastille then.
No. No.
Oh, it just clicked. You just remembered. I think the worst that I had was I was staying in a Ramada Inn, and it wasn't a good Ramada Inn. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and there were ants all over me. A trail of ants, and there were red ants. They were the fire ants, the ones that bite. They had made their way up to my bed, to my pillow.
Oh,
so at like 3:30 in the morning, I woke up, and I'm like, ah! There were ants all over my neck. It's like, ah! So I had to call downstairs. I said, "Look, you got me in a room where the bed is full of ants." "Oh, we're sorry, sir."
Yeah.
But I've heard horror stories from other comics about the comedy condos they've had to stay in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I couldn't stand it because it smelled so bad. So you get the guy in there. I can't. It smells really bad. I don't smell a thing. It smells wonderful in here. What's wrong with you?
Oh. Because you can never smell your own farts.
No. No. Well, actually, I can. I'm more of an unusual guy than I think.
Your body odor doesn't smell so bad to you.
No.
However.
No, definitely. No.
So, okay, we've gone through the horror stories now. Tell me some of your fond memories of your travels. Things that you're proud of.
All right, I'll tell you. We'll go back to Jamaica. I went to Jamaica for 5 years, maybe sometimes twice a year. And
well, you said you were proud of that.
Yeah, it was an all-inclusive club, and one of the perks was you could get married there, and it'd be the wedding ceremony, but you needed a witness, and so this couple asked me if I would witness their beautiful wedding ceremony, and I said, sure, I will do that. So I was there for a week, and every time I saw this guy, I would say, "It's married man," and he'd look around. So I tortured this guy for like 5 days. "It's married man." He'd look around, and finally he walked into the bar, and I did it right in front of him. He said, "It's married man," and he looked at me and said, "Oh, thank God it's you. I thought that was going on inside my head."
Hearing voices. Too much rum. Too much Jamaican rum.
But no, I love Jamaica. I really did. I became a certified scuba diver there, and it was just one of the highlights of my life.
We talked about the scuba diving that you get when you went to the Caymans.
That's where I first scuba dived. Yeah.
Yeah. And both Phil Perrier, we love the resort course in the swimming pool, the resort course, and we never scuba dived again after that, even though we wanted to.
Oh.
We just
you guys
just never did it again.
You and Phil went to the resort course together, and the Caymans?
Not together. We went at different times, but again, we both had the experience, and again, we both loved the experience, and we said we were going to do it again. Oh, I'm definitely going to do this again.
Yeah.
20 years later, it hasn't happened, and now it's like.
That was my also in the Caymans. I think that was Coconut Skig, wasn't it? And and if I hadn't gone back to Jamaica, I don't think I would have ever got certified. So it's the luck of the draw.
I remember when I went to the Cayman Islands, there was a female comic. I can't remember her name. I want to say it was Annie something. But she was working there in a dive shop or like, where you rent jet skis or something, or surfboards. He's like, yeah, I married one of the guys here. I came here to do the gig. I married one of the guys here, and now I'm working in the shop. She wasn't that good.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I wonder how many if that's a common story where some comic just went to some town and he just never left. Whatever, fell in love.
So she looked a lot happier. She looked a lot happier.
I can see that.
It can happen. It seems like I heard another story like that. I can't remember who it was. So I'm sorry. My mind these days. So, what would you tell people who are interested in doing stand-up comedy about getting out on the road and doing it? What would you tell them?
Well, no. well, that is true. If you really gotta love it. I mean, this can't be some kind of thing you might want to do. You really gotta love it, or you're never gonna be successful. And the key for me has always been writing. You got to sit down and write a few hours a day, and out of that few hours, you might get a minute or two if you're lucky. But the constant repetition that'll make you better.
Now that brings up a good question. What is your process of weeding out, the good material from the bad material when you're doing new bits?
Well, I go back to Shakespeare. Brevity is the soul of wit. I boil it down to its essence, and then I pretty much let the audience be the editor. I think everything is brilliantly funny.
I thought that bit was going to kill.
Yeah. And then you'll say a premise. You'll do a premise, and they start howling. Usually they're drunk out of their minds at the time, but still, it happens.
Okay, this is something I've never talked about with comics on the show. There were comics on the road who were extremely funny, and they were called back to clubs again and again and again. And there were other comics who were not as funny. They were funny, but not as funny. And they were brought back the same amount of times, like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. And comics would say, why is that? What is that? And even I thought, what the hell is that? And then I realized that there are comics who sell more drinks. So the club owners, like Ollie Joe Prager. I mentioned Ollie Joe Prager a lot on the show, and he was very funny. He was extremely funny, but he got called back. He got called back regularly. I mean, like 4 times a year to the club because he sold drinks. He was always drinking on stage. He was always toasting to the audience.
Right.
Again, Ralph Williams, a very funny guy. And again, used to hubba. Used to get the crowd drinking, which was very clever. You're not just being funny. You're realizing this is a business. These people want to sell drinks. And I'm going to get called back, 6 times a year. Because by gosh, I'm going to sell a couple $1,000s worth of drinks tonight.
Yeah.
Per show.
So, and then
it's
the really big headliners sold heroin. Moving on up.
Little coke, little. We were talking about Jeff Dix was the original manager of the Comedy Corner in Tampa. I probably should have named his name. I might have to edit that out. I don't know. I know the club's gone. It's a go-go dancer club, I think now.
Right.
I think the last time I checked. I might be wrong about that now too. Anyway, Amazing Jonathan came through, and he went down to the club down in South Florida where John Stoll, the owner, was. And he said, "Hey, thanks for sending me that Tampa club. I got some good blow there." Hey. and the manager was replaced this next week. But yeah, it's a business.
Yeah.
They have to realize that if they can sell drinks, they will make themselves more popular with the club owner, who will request them more to the agent or to whoever's booking, and yeah, they'll get booked at the same club 3-4 times a year.
You think that's still true, Rory?
Now it's good to point that out, because I have been out of the loop for 15 years. Because I know it was back then. Yeah, I went to China for 15 years, so so I can't really say.
I'm sure it's great with the profit margins and everybody wants it, and there's still guys out there do it. I just don't think it's that prevalent anymore. You just got to be much better. You have to be much more talented nowadays than you used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, the late 80s, early 90s, that was a wave. That wave was cresting with the comedy clubs. I mean, there were comedy clubs on every corner.
Exactly.
Literally, there were like 4 or 5 clubs in every town.
Yep.
So there was a lot of work. So yeah, the bottom of that kind of dropped out in mid 90s to late 90s.
Yeah.
And now you have maybe 2 strong clubs in every town, maybe.
Right. And all those little small towns that have nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to go to the big town around the corner.
Yeah, well.
Fair enough.
But then there's so many more access to doing comedy, like what we're doing right now, and getting yourself out there.
True. A lot of people are going to social media.
There's ways to do it. It's just,
I'm one of them.
Yeah, and more power to you, because, if you don't promote yourself, believe me, nobody else will.
True enough.
Yeah.
So where can we see you in the near future? Where can our audiences, other than the cruise ship, where else can we see you in the near future?
In Florida, I really like Visani's, the Comedy Zone there in Port Charlotte. That's one of my favorite, and just the staff is great, the food is great. It's just a really, really nice place to work. And I also like over same thing at Cape Canaveral at the Gregory's over there. That's again a really nice place to work. And also Jackie Knight up in St. Augustine just reopened her club recently, and I highly recommend it. Always a great show.
Very good, very good. Hope to see you there soon. I hope people go to your page and check out all the great lines that you got written there, and see your schedules and things that you got posted there.
Okay. And I'll do one more like I said, it's going to be up for 48 hours. You call 321-210-9616. They pet promo, and they'll call you back and get you some tickets.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And anything that you would like to say that we have not touched upon?
No, let's do it again. That's all I got to say.
Definitely. I can't wait to have you back. Always good to see an old friend. Kindred spirit. And again, one of these days I'm going to have to do like a comedy show with like 6 guys all together, like you and Evans and Scott Hardy and Rivera, and just see what happens when you put 6 of you together in a room, or 9 of you together.
That's the most fun part, getting together after the show. That's, for me, it is anyway.
Sky's the limit. Well, thank you again, Pat, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And again, I'm so glad that you look very healthy. You look very happy. And take care, my friend.
All right, Rory. Wonderful seeing you again.